Okay, in this section we're going to take a look at updating resources so that when a user is logged in they can edit their profile. And we'll take a look at how we can achieve that functionality. And we're actually going to start off in our client application this time, and we're going to create a member edit component. So let's open up the terminal, and I'll pick the spare tab to do this with, and we're going to create a new component, so nggc, and we'll put it inside the members folder, and we're going to call it member-edit, and once again we're going to skip -tests and press return. And once we have this component created, let's go ahead and create the root for this. So I'm going to open up the app routes.ts, and this is going to be an area where of course the user is going to need to be authenticated to update their profile. So I'll just copy down the member detail component, and instead of member's username, we're going to call it member and edit. And we're going to use the member edit component that we have just created. And then we'll go to our navbar so we can update the router link. And inside here, where we've got our drop-down menu and the edit profile link, let's just add a router link inside here. And we'll send them to the member or /member/edit. And if we just go and test that functionality, so I'm logged in as Lisa, and if I click on edit profile, then we can see our new component works. Let's make sure that we can get hold of this member, and at the very least display the known as information inside here before we add the content for this component. So we're going to go to the member edits component itself, and inside here we're just going to add a class property for the member, and we'll make it optional and specify it's a type of member. And we're going to need access to both our account service to get hold of the user's username and also the member service so that we can fetch their user profile. So we'll say private account service equals inject, and we'll utilize the account service, and we'll do the same for the member service as well, and we'll say inject and member service. And we're going to implement the onInit because we need to go and get data. So we'll implement the onInit, and then we'll create the ng-onInit function, and we'll add a separate function to load the member. And we'll get hold of our user first from our account service signal. So I'm going to say const user equals list.accountService and the current user, and because this is a signal, we just execute this to read the value, and we'll say if we do not have the user, then we're just going to return as we cannot do anything at this point. And then we'll say list.memberService and get member, and we're going to use our user.username as the username, and then we'll subscribe, and in the next we'll say member goes to this.member and assign it the member that we're getting back from the member service. And then in the ng-onInit we can just say list.loadMember. And then just to test this functionality is working, let's head over to the template file, and we'll use the built-in control flow once again from Angular, and we'll check to make sure we have the member. And if we do, we're just going to have an h1 tag, and then inside here using interpolation we're going to say member.knownAs, and if we head back to the browser we can see we've got Lisa's username in there. And if I just confirm that's always going to be the case, and if I refresh the page, sure, we've proved we can get the user's profile. And in the next lesson we'll add the content so the user can actually edit their profile.